know that at least 75% of bitches suffer from some kind of hearing loss? This alarming statistic means that more likely than not, talking isn't the most effective way to communicate with a bitch. That's when you have to hit her.
You're right, Rhonda. I'm not like the rest of you. I'm not wearing a mask. I mean, look at us. Tinfoil in our hair, glass on our faces, high-heeled shoes. Why are we wearing these? We're already taller than the boys.
Hey guys, we missed you so much and we're back.
Welcome.
I'm holding.
Whoa, welcome back.
welcome back. This is our social distancing, not really social distancing. We can't afford the space.
Don't
we
get
got the space.
We 6 feet.
Yeah, exactly. We 6 feet apart. We social distancing.
Yeah, the camera gives off closer than what it really is.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Makes it look wider. It makes it look wider. But we are back with some of us switch up to our panel. We have a new co-host. Go ahead, introduce yourself. Shaa with 1 A, is it?
Shaa with 2 A's. We're gonna ignore this person over here. That is who I am, and that's why I'm here to be a co-host. Apparently, so
there we go. Welcome,
yes.
welcome.
And of course, I am King Tash.
Shanty.
And we have today the host of Fuck That Shit podcast. Was that good enough?
All right.
Gabe, who is gonna sit down and endure our crazy messiness for the next 4 segments.
And give us real feedback.
Real feedback. That's essential.
Well, I'm glad y'all have me. I appreciate it.
Yes, we're happy you're here.
I'm a new fan of the show. I like the setup. And just fucking flow.
All right, here we go. And we are back with current events. Take it away.
So we've been away for a while, and you know we've been dealing with COVID-19, but we aren't gonna hit that today. We are going to get on to malpractice in a hospital, African American women passing during childbirth, and child trafficking. So, an article
ray of sunshine. It's a ray of sunshine.
So, for this past summer, I don't know what's been going on, but a lot of women have been dying during childbirth. The recent one that's passed died in Woodhall Hospital. And she said, her family said that she died because of the epidural. What I know with epidural is that you have to sign a consent before you get it. And that's on you. Like if you choose to, you know, that will be on you. But what's being said by the family is that they forced her.
Yeah, she didn't want to do it.
She didn't want to do it, but they forced her to do it.
So I'm gonna give a little kind of back insight on the birthing process.
Yeah.
Now, what is supposed to occur is mothers, and please, if you are a pregnant mother watching this, please have a birth plan.
Yes.
Please ensure that your provider has your birth plan prior to you going into the hospital.
And don't just say
and
yes.
Walk with your birth plan. Now, a lot of women aren't educated on exactly what their rights are. And apparently she had either a blood pressure problems or she had a pre-existing condition.
It changed from that. Then it said that she was healthy. So that's where,
okay, so that's two. Now it's two different.
That's damage control.
Yeah, that's two different stories. But what was initially put out into the media was she had a pre-existing condition.
I remember.
So she essentially passed out. And when that happens, her doctor now has basically all autonomy to do whatever they want.
I wanted to
her
get
life.
on with you, because it's just like in that time, what does the doctor do? What you know?
They did an emergency C-section on her.
Yes, I read
So
that.
that's what happened. The anesthesiologist either administered the epidural incorrectly, either went in between two vertebrae. I don't know what.
It was like
I don't know
she
what
got
exactly.
epidural.
Right.
It was too much for her, and that's how she had the heart attack.
Exactly. There was no one monitoring her levels.
That's
clearly, that's clear as fucking day. There was nobody monitoring her levels.
That's crazy.
At that point in time, they're supposed to be during the C-section. The anesthesiologist has to be in the room. What that sounds like is they put her on a machine and left. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah.
So without having her chart, without knowing any other information, just by hearing what happened, clear negligence, clear loss. That family has a clear loss.
I can give a first-hand experience with my second son. Soon as my child's mother brought out the birth plan, the attitudes of the nurses completely changed because one nurse legit said, "Oh, we have another one of these." And the attitude
they don't
changed.
like it. They don't like it because they now have to be held accountable because
You basically
if they don't follow
tell them,
your birth plan.
You basically let them know I'm in control, and they don't like that.
Yes, no, they don't like that. And well, I was reading an article on heart.com, and it was talking about like basically there is racism in the medical world.
Black women don't receive the same level of help yet.
So once you are in that bed, it's kind of like you're deemed as that black woman, and there is like it said that you're the criminal. So we have to watch, like.
And try not to go in there by yourself.
Exactly. But she wasn't even by herself. She had her boyfriend was with her.
Well, then he clearly failed.
It's both their first child.
And he don't know.
They're young. They were young. She was 19. He was 21.
Oh, well, then there you go. So they,
so
they knew.
young.
The doctors knew what they were doing.
Exactly. And then another thing is, you guys need to do research on the facilities and how many babies are born stillborn, how many. Basically, the birth defect rate, you have to do all of your research on that hospital.
Don't assume that they want your kid there.
Exactly. You have to do all of your research on that hospital because if she would have done research on Woodhall, I don't know if it was the emergency hospital or whatever.
It's like saying Brookdale.
Exactly. Exactly.
Why? And the sad thing about it is that they know this. So it's people with private insurance and stuff is not gonna pull up in Woodhall and be like, oh, let me, it's more of the
Medicaid,
the urban community, and they know what they're doing.
They get no incentive to save.
They don't.
They get more of a grant if you die, because then it's, they need more help.
Exactly.
Always look up any hospital you're deciding to go to if you're gonna have a baby.
You know how much money they got for putting people as COVID patients when people came in and don't have COVID?
And you know how much money they got extra to put them on a ventilator? It's all money. But you said the epidural because that was
look up
perfect.
Infant mortality rates of any hospital you're going to choose to go to. Woodhall, Brookdale, Interfaith have the highest infant mortality rates in Brooklyn.
Well, I'm going to throw, I don't know about the mortality rates, but Brooklyn Hospital, they weren't too, friendly.
They don't have to be friendly as long as they're saving your life. Honestly, nurses are overworked.
Yeah, they weren't too friendly.
Nurses are overworked, and majority of them are underpaid for the amount of things that they do. They're more essential than the doctor sometimes.
Who's the guy who do they call the guy who puts the epidural?
Anesthesiologist.
All right, so.
And they get paid the most.
They come in.
They get paid a separate payment.
So when
they get paid, it's like you pay them through your insurance and the hospital pays.
So when they went to give her the epidural, I wasn't in the room because the nurse was like, "Oh, we gotta get her ready." But from the hallway, I hear her yelling, "It hurts! Stop! Stop! Stop!" And so when I went back into the room, I told the anesthesiologist, I said, "Yo, what's going on in here?" And he goes, "I can't do it." Which made me say, if I wasn't here, you would have kept poking her until something went wrong. The second I walked back in the room is when he jumped and said, "I can't do this," and he left. And then about 20 minutes later, she gave birth. So that's how I know you was doing something you weren't supposed to be doing in there.
Honestly, if I didn't go to the hospital that I worked at to have my children, I don't know if I would receive the same amount of care. I'm not even gonna hold you because I knew the nurses. Like we were chopping it up. We were talking shit, chopping it up, and I literally delivered. It took me 10 minutes to have my daughter.
When
he left the room, about 20 minutes, she said the baby's coming, and that was that.
Yeah, once I started pushing, once I felt her come, 10 minutes, done.
That's the thing. It's
super fast. It's different treatment.
In the facility, I put you first before anybody.
Presbyterian, I give big ups to because the one in Manhattan, like right under the bridge.
Even Methodist is a great hospital.
I heard that
to deliver
I should have just went to Methodist.
Great hospital. That's why I had two of the kids. Great hospital because they're known as the baby hospital.
The one in
Park Slope.
Yes,
they're known as the baby hospital. You gotta do your research gotta do your research because they do not care about us. They do
At all.
not care about our children.
As much shit I talk, I can concede they don't give a fuck.
So before we go into the child trafficking, I just want to say one thing that they have in the report. It says that reporters' research found that among other factors, bias and stereotyping regarding people of color can impact the level of health care they receive.
We're outside, guys. So yeah.
On theheart.com, it says that reports researchers found that among other factors, bias and stereotyping regarding people of color can impact the level of health care they receive. So this is something that is known.
Yep.
So
Can we be truthful and switch can to will?
It
will impact.
Yeah, it will. Racism affects so many things before the patient even gets to the clinical encounter. And this is a doctor talking. So they're basically like the structural racism affect how women are cared for in the healthcare system. So with that, is just educate yourself on everything before you sign any consents. Educate yourself. Insurance, that's a whole different thing because every part of your body is worth something. Probably that's the reason why black people be missing majority of the time because they probably be taking them and selling their body parts.
Man, we're not even gonna get into managed care because I could do a whole fucking episode on the shit show that is managed care.
Billing and all that stuff. It's very interesting.
Insurance companies find any way they can not to pay out on claims.
Yep.
That's why patients receive ridiculous bills.
Yep.
After I had 2 insurances, and I had an insurance and I had a co-insurance to pick up the rest of the bill that the main insurance wasn't paying, and then they still tried to hit me with a bill after.
Of course, because it's all money.
It's like, and then hospitals can literally choose whatever they want to charge you for. So say they get an oxy pill for 17 cents a pill. They can bill you $300.
Of course, because who's gonna check
for
it?
that pill? Exactly. And the insurance company can say, no, I'm not paying you more than 50. They will then charge the patient for the rest of it. So it's the whole cycle. The whole system is broken.
And all those people that's getting the generic medication, please read up on what you're getting and what you're putting in your body.
Yes.
Because that is a whole setup for you.
Yes.
And one more thing. My favorite movie is John Q. When his son was about to die and they wouldn't put him to the top of the list because he had no insurance.
Yep.
And who got the heart transplant first? The white lady that came in with I don't even think that she had insurance, she had the money.
Right.
So it just shows you that he had to hold up the hospital, hold prisoners in order to get his son to get a heart.
We're not saying.
No, don't do it.
We're not saying.
Don't do that.
I do it.
To do that.
You know,
Because it ain't gonna end like Denzel. It ain't gonna end like Denzel.
Exactly.
No,
Not
but
a movie.
it just shows
It's not a
you, it
movie.
opened up your eyes to see what's going on in the healthcare system.
I just have a lot
Remember,
of...
before they get to you on the street, they can get to you before you're even born.
Yep.
So keep that in mind.
Absolutely.
I just have a lot of bad experiences with hospitals, like a lot.
Some people do.
Yeah.
So every time something's actually wrong, they tell me something's not wrong, and then I found out months later
Something
that
was wrong?
I broke my wrist. They told me it wasn't broke. They was like, oh hey, just put this little splint on, you'll be fine. I go back to the hospital a month later, and they're like, oh your wrist is broken and it's healing incorrectly.
What hospital?
Yeah, because now they can build you up your own.
Exactly,
They can build you up
yeah,
your own
we're not
zip.
trying to get sued.
I was like, fuck it, I'll figure this out on my own. Like,
They gotta reset because that can cause you pain in the future as you age.
shit in my bag right now. Like I can't ride my bike without having something on my wrist. I can't work.
Exactly.
That shit is broken.
He young as shit.
Yeah.
You are. He young as shit.
If this is like if he a co-host, I just can't read bird. He ain't that young.
You know, we in a workers' conversation. just flex it on your. Just flex it. Yeah.
Underline to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Read.
Yeah.
Just because the fucking booklet is 10 pages long does not mean you just put your name on the line.
Yeah.
Fucking read it because
Don't
on
sign
that
anything
6th
without
page
reading it either.
might be some shit that you don't want your name on. Just fucking read.
That's why I don't blame patients when they be like, can I have a copy of what I'm
All the
saying?
time. All the time.
Go ahead, I got you.
I do not sign anything without reading it.
I got mad with my second kid because she kept reading and kept reading. But I said, you know what? I can't get that mad. Because after seeing, well, in hindsight, after it all happened, now I say to myself, after a homeboy was poking her, after the nurse gave the attitude when the booklet came out, who knows if she didn't read what would have happened? They probably could have told me you can't come in here and would have kept poking her.
We have another one? No, I would have said no. That's crazy.
Well, we immediately changed nurses because that's when I was like, what's not gonna happen? I just did a double. I'm here at 1 in the morning and I'm not gonna deal with somebody who just said another one. So can I get a new nurse? And I don't care who don't like what I said.
You have to be an advocate. You have to, like, literally, because at that point she's strapped to bed. She can't really do much.
Can't do that.
And she in labor.
Can't
you know
do
what I'm
that.
saying? Like, her focus is just all over the place.
There's nothing wrong with threatening to put your foot in somebody's ass. I'm not telling you to put your foot in somebody's ass.
I mean, especially when it comes to your life.
Yeah, but let them know.
Your child is coming into the
Let them know. I don't know you and you don't know me. So you're guilty until you're innocent.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is follow this damn booklet.
Yeah.
Just read. There's nothing wrong. Just fucking read.
Please, let me tell you something. Hand your birth plan to that nurse, attendant physician, if it's not your actual doctor who has a copy already. Whoever is in charge of your care at that moment, hand them your birth plan and say, this is what I want. I'm not deflecting from it. This is the treatment I want to receive. And you have to stick to that. Because they will try to kind of get you to go the easiest
do everything.
route.
You sure this is what you want to do? Look, the baby. So no, this is what we do.
Make sure the doctor that's coming to your visits is affiliated with the hospital.
Yeah.
Sometimes last minute they be putting somebody that you ain't never seen during your visit.
Yeah, that's another thing. When you pick your GYN, huge. Pick a multi-provider practice, and while on your visits, make sure you meet with every single one of those doctors
Stand by all of them.
At least once. Meet with every single one of them at least once, because you don't want a stranger who you never met a day in your life coming in and delivering your baby because they don't know you.
It's like Grey's Anatomy. That's the worst TV show I've ever seen, right? They kill most of their patients on every episode.
All right.
So
I never seen it, but I know a lot of people die.
everybody dies on that show because everyone's always crying at the end of the show that they post like, oh my god, this was just such a sad episode. So what makes you think in real life they're not gonna do the same shit?
We need to take care of our kids, and we need to watch them, and we need to really pray for the ones that are in child trafficking. That is,
as we transition.
That is, I'm gonna say controlled by the government, but that is my opinion. And
you can't say the whole government.
The whole government.
You can't say the whole government.
We're gonna say 95%.
I'll say
I give you 97.
97.
If you really do your research, you realize it's more one party than the next.
Whoa!
So I wouldn't say I can't give full detail, but I wouldn't say it's the whole government.
Would you allow me to get food?
Yeah.
like
I'm not trying to get banned on YouTube.
And you got a sarcastic asshole that everybody's just like, shut the fuck up. But they're saying something that makes sense or whatever. People don't want to hear it because of who this person portrayed themselves as. Yep. So then I'm really sitting there and I'm thinking, and I'm like, why haven't we seen the emails from Hillary yet? What are those emails about that Trump basically said
over and over, over and over, over and over?
If you were elected, you wouldn't be elected if they seen the emails. What would the emails?
And why the guy who leaked the email has a gag order now that he can't talk about what he saw in the emails?
What is it, Jeffrey?
I'm surprised
No, I'm talking about.
I'm surprised he's still alive.
This is another guy, Julian Assange.
I'm surprised he's still alive.
That's because
he's part of America.
Yeah, but he can't talk. There's a gag order.
For now, he's alive.
Yeah, they can't kill him publicly. Not yet.
Not yet.
So do you guys think that's how Epstein died?
No, I think they killed him. Hands down.
Yeah.
I think he was alive when he left on the stretcher because he was covered. I think he was alive when they left on the stretcher and they killed him in the hospital.
They needed a reason to get him.
And Jelaine is going to die too.
She is scared, and she said it.
That's why she released everything yesterday.
Yes.
That's why everything got released, because she said, you know what? Before y'all kill me, I'm taking some of y'all.
I'm taking some of y'all down with me.
And it's sad. Like even the Epstein, the thing on Netflix.
I'm not trusting that. It's on.
I saw
I only saw 2 episodes.
I saw all the episodes, but I saw there were 2 different documentaries. Like Lifetime did one, and then Netflix did one.
The Netflix, I'm just like, okay, so, and I try not to be that person because I'm just like, children will be children. when I'm looking at this, I'm like, what are the parents teaching?
But think about
girls?
it. No, you got to think about it. He picked poor girls. He picked girls from broken homes. He picked foster girls. He knew what the fuck he was doing.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
He knew what he was doing.
Just like,
he picked vulnerable girls.
You know who that brings in, right? Because you just said that with the parents, and you said the parents, and you say who he picked. That brings in R. Kelly. R. Kelly didn't just...
I think
R. Kelly goes more to what Chantel said. Where were the parents? Because these parents were giving.
Did you see the one episode? Did you see the one episode of the documentary where the father said he brought his 13-year-old daughter to an R. Kelly episode and he pulled her on stage?
What does
he didn't randomly pick your daughter. He didn't randomly pick your daughter. He knew where to pick her from.
But what does a 13-year-old know about?
I think it
you
was
remind me of my Jeep.
They got me out of this.
What the fuck does a 13-year-old know about that?
R. Kelly
Why
was
you bring
not.
it in?
R. Kelly was able to walk the streets until he did the interview, and he said one thing that nobody picked up on the interview. These parents are just as guilty. And the second he said that, they put him in jail. And they said, okay, he broke the contract.
Exactly.
I agree.
The parents, Epstein did not go in a fucking white van like they want everybody to believe. Hey, do you want a piece of candy? No. That was sat down at a meeting. What's gonna happen if I do this? All right.
That's how his system was fucking genius. Because
but it was sad.
He used the girls that he abused to find new girls to abuse.
And he was some people say, yo, like when I talk about it, some people go, you give Epstein too much credit. I say, no, I don't. Epstein had money, and he made money for a lot of people. So he knew, if you tell on me, there goes your cash cow. I will no longer bring money to your company if you snitch on me.
The sheriff or something like that. One of the girls.
Yeah, that's how the first case, the first case with the sisters. Yes, that's how that one got squashed because the DA came in and was like, no, we're not pressing any charges.
Why is that?
Like,
can we speak on the fact that if Epstein was any other race but white, he would have made none of his money and would have gotten locked up after the first kid.
Epstein was more than just white, because there's a certain ethnicity that doesn't like to just say they're white. They like to let you know what kind of white they are. And that's the special club he's in.
They're a different kind of white.
That can't be touched.
No, you're right.
There's a reason why he was able
he
to
literally
go untouched.
Came up from forged documents. Never graduated
with the
school.
Never
got a degree.
He knew how to talk.
He never got a degree in anything.
He was like one of those people that could slide his way.
You want to know what he's the equivalent as for the audience? Epstein was the equivalent as one of those drug dealers that they talk about in the 70s and 80s that were in Harlem that just knew I can talk and y'all ain't gonna do nothing on me until I overstep my boundaries.
He got into college, all that stuff, and that's when they started looking into it.
The job that he was a part of, he wasn't qualified for. But because he was able to talk the people into the boardroom is why they said, you know what?
They looked through his
whatever.
To see his experience, and there was
none
there.
But
they never did a background check on him before they gave him the job. And then when he got the job, and then they did the background check, he was like, oh, I felt bad, and he talked me into it. You're a fucking CEO of a Fortune 500.
Money talk.
He brought in so much money they didn't care.
And then he was a part of 2 Ponzi schemes.
Well, that goes into the judge. The judge that just got her son off a couple weekends ago. That was the court case. That was the Ponzi scheme that she was a part of.
And that's what I was thinking. How you in the basement and she didn't hear nothing that was going on? Like,
how you allow a man? It was another judge who killed him, or was it a lawyer?
They say he killed the lawyer, but that's all. Now it's just.
They're saying the lawyer killed the son.
Something along those lines. But now it's just spinning the news to get the older generation to be like, oh my God, look what's going on now. Here's where I knew the story was fucked to begin with. But it's Sunday night. As long as I've been getting packages, I have never received a package from FedEx on a Sunday night.
Exactly.
Who didn't pick up on a Sunday night the FedEx guy rang your doorbell?
That is that.
I didn't even think about
crazy.
that.
I mean, we don't need to walk in the dark that much. Sunday night, FedEx is delivering a pack. Amazon doesn't even deliver on a Sunday night.
And it be in the day. Everything is before 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Everything is before 8 p.m. what are you thinking
that's
to have a FedEx person come to you? Like, the story doesn't even make sense.
When I heard the name and who she was representing, I was like, oh, okay.
But here's the problem with the story. The story detracts from what you just brought up. They do everything in their power to not talk about the main issue, that children, and I'm sorry to put it like this, because when you sugarcoat it, people don't care.
Yeah.
So, you just gotta come out and say it. They sugarcoat a news story with someone being killed to deflect from children are being fucked by grown-ups.
Yes.
Grown-ups are having parties.
Yes.
Fucking kids.
And it's called what? Pizza what?
No, Pizzagate was
No, they were eating those babies.
What the fuck are you talking
I thought Pizzagate was just a code name for the child trafficking. They was eating them.
No,
They're
Pizzagate,
eating them.
if
They're
you-
having parties.
If you molested them to the point of death, you had to kill them.
You had to kill them.
That was Pizzagate. The problem is, people forget the main thing, that there's so much. These people get off on fucking kids. They don't want grown-ups.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's so many different organizations that are for these people where they're allowed to congregate and plan and pillage.
This is why I
These
can't.
children-
Why
You're
the
a
fuck would
menu.
you want to do that?
I don't
Because you're
understand.
sick.
We don't have that.
You're
we don't
sick.
have that.
And that's the thing.
That chromosome.
I cannot conversate with someone that says, "Oh, a pedophile is different from a molester."
No, a pedophile is a
They're all
form
in the
of
same boat.
easy kill
They're all
on
in the
sight.
same boat.
When I was watching the episode of the news that was breaking it down, it goes, "Oh, a pedophile, it's more of a mental thing, and a molester, it's just
And
you're
you
doing
automatically
wrong
a
by
piece of
touching."
shit. Yeah, you're
That's
automatically
still
a
a
piece of shit.
mental thing.
I'm like, wow, like these people are
How
really
does that change?
separating.
They sympathize with it.
That's the problem.
Yeah, they
That's
do.
the problem.
You don't
The
need to
fact that there
sympathize
are
with
legal,
everybody.
The fact that there are legal organizations, man, boy, love. How is it that
This
there are
is
legal
crazy.
organizations that are still allowed to conduct business
crazy.
legally?
I'm mad more people don't get disgusted at the thought of it.
This is crazy.
There's
like,
people that line up. You know what? Everybody has watched HBO on a Thursday night at 11 o'clock when we were young, because that was like, okay, look, this free low adult
But
entertainment.
it wasn't kids we was watching.
But here's the
Even
problem.
when we were kids,
There
it
was
wasn't kids.
no. I want to bring it back. There was one show that they used to have, was like the brothel in Las Vegas.
Yes,
That the guy will walk.
Bunny Ranch?
Bunny Ranch.
Yeah.
That the guy will walk through the door. The guy will walk through the door. The
That was
bell
Cinemax.
goes off,
That was Cinemax.
and all the females come out in the
Yeah.
line. There's parties that is not females. It's children
It's children
being
that they line
escorted
up.
out.
It's children
That you
that-
can pick what kind of kids you
Can
want.
we hit on Wayfair?
Wayfair.
Well,
I was trying to.
I just had to stop buying shit from
why hit on?
I'm tight because I was about to buy my daughter's bed.
Yeah.
And then this whole scandal
and
came
then
out.
they
I'm like,
said,
damn, I
and then
can't
they
get
was
cheap
just
furniture.
like, and how they covering up is like, oh no, it's a conspiracy. People are just saying that
Because you throw a conspiracy out there and everybody goes, oh, okay,
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of
It makes
idiots
sense now.
that are just talking.
It
Who
makes
cares?
sense now. No, just because you say conspiracy doesn't make it not true. Like, look at it. You have the exact same description. All you're doing is tweaking a word in the description, and you're charging thousands of dollars more for that exact same fucking
The
cabinet.
name of the child is coming up as a cabinet, and you're
It's
going to tell me
missing
it's a
children.
If you go
coincidence.
to the Missing
crazy.
Children website and
It's
you
the name.
exact
Exact same
of the thing.
name.
And I didn't believe it, and I tried it, and then basically a list to the furniture was the child's last name.
Yep.
So it's just like, okay, so
That's how disgusting it is.
can't-
But just like, what?
it's fucking
People
crazy.
are sick. It's like,
I can't look at a kid and think about anything other than like, I don't
You
fucking
don't
even like
have
kids.
that chromosome. You don't
don't-
have that. You don't have that.
it's a sickness, but it's what pisses me off about it is that more people aren't
Aren't
offended by it.
disgusted. Yeah.
A celebrity. You know what?
Yeah.
Screw the cat face whore. I don't want to drop the name. I don't want to drop the name on your show, but everybody knows the
Old squish
Asian,
face.
the Asian cat face whore that does all the TV shows that thinks she's funny that she's not.
Her husband got a bigger butt than her.
Yeah, sure does.
To hell with him because he's just as guilty as her.
He's
because
like a puppet.
He is.
yeah, but
do
it
nothing,
brings
right?
you into what money does. For him to keep getting money, he had to turn the other way, and that's what's disgusting about it. She has tweets from 2009 that's
pizza
legit talking about
Yeah.
pizza the same way you know it as kids.
That
And
is
everybody said,
crazy.
oh, she's talking about food. What happened the same weekend that happened? They gave everybody an entanglement. So now, how do you take away the masses. Oh, I don't give a shit about fucking children being fucked. I'd rather talk about entanglement right now.
I hear you.
Wayfair. I don't want to talk about Wayfair. I want to talk
Wait,
about...
you think Will and Jada was involved in that?
Let me tell you something. Will is just as dirty as anybody else.
Yeah,
Look at Will's 2 kids. You can't tell me something ain't wrong in that household.
No, we knew something was wrong in that household. We all knew the situation. Well, you're not fitting to walk through this whole segment right now. You gonna chill out right there, big fella. Taylor Elajas has arrived. You're not fitting to walk through this segment.
You want that now? Yeah.
Because you look like you was walking straight up. I'm like, wait. Yeah, but do you think that obviously there's something going on in that household?
I do think
clear. And those kids have been very quiet on that whole scandal.
Yeah.
They haven't said a word.
Have you seen his kids from young? Something's up. Look, Will has been cradled and cuddled in Hollywood since he was a teenager.
Yeah, because he was loved. I love Will Smith.
That's the problem is now with me, with my rabbit holes, I get so deep into it, nobody's innocent anymore. So you got to start questioning, why were you able to go this long with nobody bringing up anything about you?
Well, they always had these stories of Will and Jada are swingers, or Will and Jada have an open relationship, open marriage, and all that stuff. Right? Okay, that's the thing. But everybody knew Will had girlfriends. Long time. They already knew that Will boned probably every single one of his female co-stars.
Why do we bring up that Will Smith has more undisclosed settlements with men than any other person?
Oh, we knew that.
What's his name? Dwayne Wade? Dwayne Martin.
Oh, Dwayne Martin.
Dwayne Martin came out. Why do you think Tisha still got money and Dwayne is in?
Yes.
And we are back with our signature segment, also called Sticky Situations. So the first one is, here's my situation. I've been with a guy for almost 2 years. We live together with our 2 kids. I love him and our life so much. He's an amazing man, dad, and partner. My issue is that he is not affectionate outside of the bedroom. I'm always the one kissing, touching, and hugging him. And sometimes he makes me feel like I'm too hands-on. It's like any type of affection besides sex makes him uncomfortable. I'm starting to worry that maybe he's not attracted to me anymore because it wasn't like this when we first got together. I mean, I'm a bit heavier now than then, quarantine, than I was, but I'm not huge. And I don't mad people gain weight in quarantine. Don't do that. Don't do that. Exactly, don't do that. Am I overthinking this? I love this man and our family, but I just really don't know how to fix this. Is he not into me anymore? Y'all, listen. Is he not into me anymore? Please help.
You dramatic as fuck.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
Like, that's it.
I don't got nothing else to say. You just dramatic. Take a chill pill. You feel like you got heavy. Go to the gym. But knowing me, like I just need some space sometime. Like I'm gonna be affectionate in the bedroom because I still want to bust cheeks. But other than that, let me just play 2K and chill. Like just go over there.
I'll just play 2K.
Wow.
But she didn't say this just happened. She said that it's always been like.
She said it wasn't like this in the beginning.
No, I mean like
when you keep seeing the girl every day.
No, she said he was affectionate.
Oh, so he was affectionate.
But yeah.
Now they got 2 kids.
But why they don't put a before and after with the smiley face so we can understand what's going on?
Like, well, with my ex, when we first got together, we was on it all the time. But then after like 3 years, I kind of was like, alright, bro, can you move over? Like,
wow.
Like I just It's just like
I
still loved her and wanted to be affectionate and shit. But I just needed a minute. I felt like she was on my body all the time. I felt like I wasn't my own person no more.
I feel like a conversation could squash all of it.
I had conversations.
No, not with you. I'm saying in general. Like I feel like her situation is a conversation could squash all of it because he may feel like, all right, we going through the normal every day, especially after I've been locked down with your ass for 4 fucking months straight, all day, every day. Wake up, see you. Go to sleep, see you. Like every fucking day.
That's 4
exactly,
months,
exactly. Yeah. So where he may not know she's even feeling like this, he may be like, oh, this is just.
And you heavy. What's a push-up?
Wow. She said she's heavier. She didn't say
the fact that she had to say that, she probably gained like 40.
You know what? I didn't think of it until you just said it like that.
I got a little heavy.
Yeah, because if you just gain a little bit,
so she was already heavy. Yeah,
she started to gain a little more.
Could be. Yeah, why I can't say the words?
Quarantine.
I can't. We can't see your comments. I'm sorry, guys.
It's some high legs.
Yeah, did you get big? Like that's my.
Yeah, like what is
If he
heavy?
makes
There's
you
nothing wrong
skinny,
with gaining a little weight. Like, we getting older.
But what was
It
your
is what
starting
it is,
point?
but
heavier means that she was already heavy.
you was already.
And you started off at a certain place, and then you got heavy. And then
But that
you got
homeboy
heavy.
shouldn't be using the weight against her. Like,
It depends on how you, what you like.
But
if she can get skinny and get bad again, then all of a sudden the affections come back, and she say, "I'm kicking rocks."
She brought that up. She didn't bring that up.
She didn't say
She brought that up.
So that's self-conscious.
That's her own
Yes.
insecurity.
Okay, that's
Also too,
Yes.
you think you just gonna tell your girl, yo, you got wild heavy, and she,
You should be able to after 2 kids. Like some conversations you
She's like,
should be
baby,
able
baby,
to have.
baby, baby, let's go work out together.
Yeah.
let's go to the gym.
But no, that may not be his issue.
It's just
He might not care.
That's what I'm saying. She's saying that she's living inside of her own brain. And she's like, okay, well, this may be the reason. This may be the reason. Blah, blah. She's
That's
shotgun
like
or whatever.
She an Aries.
It could be. She might be.
Yeah, yeah.
She might be.
That's
She might
But she was just
Hey,
like,
the
he always
fuck with your
complain how
thoughts,
he's
see?
tired and that he won't give her sex. And it was just like, okay, so what are you going to do? Are you going to tell him or what? Like, you're going to keep saying that the man don't want to fuck you?
It's natural for a man not to want it. I mean,
Not every day.
man
Everybody's
can say no
human.
too.
Everybody's human. And that's another thing. That's another stigma that we don't talk about. How it's okay for women to say, no, I got a headache, I don't feel good, blah, 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 and we make excuses for it. But when a man says it, oh my God,
No, you see that.
you know, let me
It automatically jumps in.
Hey,
Yeah,
oh,
he's
hell,
cheating. It's like to me.
I don't feel like fucking
cheating.
today.
I'm tired.
Exactly.
Or the
Yeah.
game is
I
on.
work
Yeah.
doubles. Like, I'm tired. I'm
Why
not
do you
in the
think
mood.
that happens though?
Are you heavy?
I think that
Yeah,
there's a stereotype of men always want it more than women. So it's accepted when a woman says I don't want it, and it's just no problem. No one bats an eye about it. But since we always assume men are these horny, crazy, craving sex all the time
See,
creatures,
that's how women
when they
molesters get
don't want it, yep.
Say no
When
2020.
they don't want it, it's always it's like, oh my God, wait, he doesn't want me. That man didn't say that.
No,
Yeah.
I just don't want it. I'm good tonight.
Yeah, that man did not say.
Holla at me in the morning.
But now, if it's hold on, if we talking about 4 times a week, you talking about you don't want it, then we got an issue, big fella.
I don't know
Yeah.
about that.
We got an issue.
Y'all
big
can give us
fella.
blue balls, but if I try to give you blue coochie, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a problem.
Then it's, oh yeah, I'm gonna be spiteful. I'm gonna withhold sex, or he doesn't find me this. No,
I'm gonna beat my shit. It's
women.
Bro, they don't understand.
Relax.
We grew up on that, so it's okay to revert back to. All right, I just do it myself. What's the movie? Scary Movie? I can do it myself.
I can do it myself.
I can do it
Don't
myself.
worry, roll my legs up.
That's
Don't
it.
worry. Don't worry about it. It's
Nobody don't need help. I
So
can do
what
it
is our
myself.
advice?
Taraji P. Henson on that.
Have a conversation first.
Yeah.
Communicate.
My advice is
Communication.
That's it.
Communication is lacking in so many of these
Holy
instances,
shit.
and that's another
Absolutely.
thing. Y'all, I feel
Leave
like
a lot out.
that too. I feel like a lot of y'all, number one, leave a lot out. Number two, aren't listening to the advice that we're giving other people, or just not reading it. Because a lot of these shits come up again and again and again and again. Like, if you don't communicate with your partner what you want, how you're feeling, what's going on, how the fuck you expect them to change something?
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't make any type of sense, half of these shits that I be reading, and I throw away a lot of these shits. I ain't gonna hold you. Whatever. A lot of these shits be fucking...
Throw it the fuck away. Throw it the fuck away.
Like, you don't understand. If you see half the shit I get in my inbox, y'all motherfuckers could have solved this over a bottle of Henny and some Spanish fly. Like, I don't understand.
They want to be heard.
Why
It's like they know what they're supposed to do, but
You're in the corner store, you like 10 years old.
Go to the corner store and get that herbal pack. I heard from a friend that they work very, very well. There's certain ones that is it the pink pussycat or some shit like that?
oh,
I don't
somebody
wanna go
told me
into how
that
much of a
they
perv I am looking at these supplements in the corner
that they
store.
took that and it helped.
Goat weed.
Hey, come on,
If you get
man.
drug tested, your other route would be the herbal supplements. But yeah, weed fixes a lot of problems.
Get you some
relationships.
Let me tell you
I haven't
something.
had
Weed
issue
is
in a
such
year.
an
I mean, it's really
like a
does.
motherfucker.
It really does.
2
It
drinks
fixes
and
a
an
lot.
L.
Yeah. And some,
You fuck good, you sleep
tequila.
good, you wake up happy.
And you wake up happy than a motherfucker. You like, man, I did that last night.
I go to work, I do extra shit. I don't even want to do
Yo,
this
I'm
shit.
telling you, get you. So here's what my advice is to you: get you some Casamigos Reposado. Y'all take shots. Guarantee you fucking all night. Guarantee. Not a problem. I'll fix that issue.
You ain't gonna worry about the
No
little extra
problem.
fupa if that's what you
Exactly.
think.
That's it. Everybody got
Because
a
the
Everybody got
food is an
fupa.
extra
We grown
security
adults.
to hold on to, you
The
know?
fupa, sometimes the fupa look a little sexy with it.
Everybody
y'all.
Exactly. That doesn't make y'all inferior.
You tell me no.
That's your handle.
Just exactly.
Skinny women, you can get more acrobatic things.
Exactly. You bring things to the
I
table
love
too.
all women.
Yeah.
Skinny, big, in between. I take it, but I like a little extra sometimes because I'm little.
He's I'm
That's not bone on bone.
Don't even start with her.
Your elbow fit right into my ring.
No. What is that? Like, what is the skinny big thing? Like, I don't know.
Where was
Because you don't want to hit. You don't want to keep pounding bones.
It's like
you don't want to
fucking the brick wall.
I did. It was what it was in. We was in Miami.
Fucking a wall.
We was in Miami, and somebody passed by and gave you a compliment. You was like, "What the fuck? I'm gonna do fucking a big dick."
Exactly. No. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, and I don't want to seem like I'm some sort of like
I hate her
big
for this.
man. I'm not a big dude hater.
All the
But
time.
me personally,
That's funny.
I feel like two big people, all we gonna do is fight for food. Like, we not supposed to be together. Like, it just, the dynamic is just, number one, I'm hot, you hot. You got mad skin on top of me, you sweating on me, you know big bitch sweat.
She's like, what we gonna talk about? Food?
Exactly, I fight for food. And then big dudes love me for whatever reason. I don't know why all these big boys wanna be with me. No.
Well, if you gonna say this segment, big women need love, then I guess big boys need
No,
love too.
find a skinny bitch. As it throw her around the room, pick her up, flip her, do
But
whatever
skinny
you need
bitches
to
do love big niggas.
Boom.
How the fuck? I'm here, guys. I'm like they talking like I'm not a bone, but you know.
The dynamic.
It's bigger chicks try to talk to me.
Like, it don't matter. It is
I mean,
what
it don't matter. I'm busting everybody cheeks.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about you. You can't be a sumo wrestler. I don't want Yokozuna. I'm drawing my line. Yokozuna hell.
Because-
You can't be that fat.
Oh, Jerry, there's a lot of babies that came off of Spanish Fly. a lot of drunk nights with some Spanish Fly made a
Try this
lot of
Spanish Fly
kids.
now.
Something done bit me through my pants.
Spray your legs, fool. We having some bug
Some mosquito
difficulties.
issues.
Yeah,
Like,
we
trust
having
me,
some
I'm
bug
not dirty. It's just bugs.
You just out here and I'm not dirty.
difficulties.
Because I was itching the last episode, the last segment.
Oh, we gotta introduce the group to our newest panel member, Shaa with 1A, until he watches a fucking episode.
I'm gonna watch this one.
I'm gonna watch this one.
I'm gonna watch it when I'm on.
I'm gonna watch it when I'm on. It makes sense. And then we have Gabe from Fuck That Shit.
Wait, what we gotta say again? Ready?
Fuck That Shit.
I'm gonna start introducing
As our special guest. You know what? You should make that your intro.
I swear to God, I'm gonna find a way to leave it from this episode.
Make that your intro. Boom. That's it. I ain't
had
had
to
to ask it for
figure
no
it out.
royalties.
We had to
It's fine.
figure it out.
It's fine. But yes, that's my advice. Yours?
What on the lead? Y'all switched that whole thing to skinny
It got the
dipping
big
and all this big this. So girl, talk to the man. I'm really not the one to ask about this because I'm just like, if you're not getting the sex from the man, then you get it from him. The fuck? Like, I don't know what else to say.
Hold
Like,
the dick out of his pants.
it's not. It's not
We're not gonna
great.
fight you.
Yeah, exactly.
We all fight. Like, oh, look, pants fell off.
Thanks for helping me out. He might start helping him.
I don't mind if my kill death ratio, you know, is up the roof right now.
I'm not really one to complain about. I'm not getting this. I'm gonna be like, okay, what's up? Like, what we doing?
Yep. What we doing?
So
I'm horny, so you horny now.
yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You horny
want to
now.
wake up? What are you doing?
10 out of 10. We're still gonna go.
Like, yo,
Get up. What we
get up. What we
right?
talking about right
Do a
now?
little pop. So we're going to be.
Or maybe, how about, sis? How about you initiated suck a dick occasionally?
That's why I said pop.
I don't understand. Gut twist still works, sis. You know, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it.
You know, they don't want
ain't up.
3,000.
They can get up.
Like,
I don't get it.
If you're lazy.
Man, sometimes he says, like, entice me.
so you know,
chilling
some
right
men they
now.
fake sleep too.
Exactly,
You gonna roll them over.
Just like we toot our ass up on the bed, something.
I fake sleep the couple
I
times.
definitely fake sleep a couple times. Like, I'm just gonna let her keep going.
I be peeking.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin the mood. You clearly into it right now, so I'm gonna wait.
Hey, sometimes you just want to show off a skill. I get it. I understand. Now, what's your advice?
Oh God.
No, I'm not gonna wild on the young lady. If you're not confident, then work out a little bit. If you're already in your own head about your weight, then just work out a little bit. It ain't that big of a deal, but get out your own head. Communicate. That's the best I can tell you. Because if you haven't heard this from him, how the hell you drew a conclusion?
That's the issue,
Then that's the issue. Just communicate. Get out your own head. Because most of the problems start when you think of it yourself.
Young boy, dad.
I agree with everybody here. Communicate.
First of all, you started off with I don't give a fuck, so yeah.
Nah, but for real, like, just communicate. I don't have nothing else to say. Communicate. That's it, because I don't have time.
I don't have time.
I don't.
Elajas.
That man had 2 kids with you. Sometimes he's not trying to touch you every 5 seconds. It be like that.
It might be the kids.
That's life. They make you stressing his ass out. You know what I'm saying? Man, you're right.
How old are they, bro?
That too. They be leaving bad information out on these fucking assets.
That's life, bro.
Are they 2 little kids?
Kids ain't gonna stop me from kidding.
No, but they're exhausted. Having young kids is exhausting, especially if he home with the kids, she went back out to work, or whatever the case may be. They're exhausting all day. I be fried by 9 o'clock.
Ain't you heavy? Like, that's like...
Oh my God.
He's right. You can't leave that out. She put it out.
She said heavier, so it's alright, boo.
Nah, you gotta...
It might have been 10 pounds and she calling that heavy. You know what I mean? She might have went from slim to slim thick. Doesn't mean she's a big girl.
Right now.
I don't know. It could
She's
have
not slim thick, because slim thick sexy. She didn't say she was slim thick. She said
slim
she
thick
was
girls know
heavy.
slim
He
thick.
may have a...
They let me know. She would have put that in
She would let you know.
Yeah,
By the way, I'm slim thick. I don't like you touching me.
Yeah. So
My ass poking. I don't know what the problem is.
Just a little bit, a little poke.
I don't want to feel bad, but if you could, like, it's fucked up. But I always know if a chick is too big, if she do the chin thing, her chin looks like it's 3 extra ones. Yeah, just do the chin check.
What's a treadmill, bro?
If you run the mirror,
Some I got
Some slim girls got fat faces.
No, I'm talking about the chins. You know if you getting big by the
Nah,
chin.
but I've been with a skinny girl that had 2 chins.
See what I'm saying? Like, it made...
My tell when I know I gotta get back to the gym is the collarbone. If my collarbone ain't poking out too good, then I know it's time to
I ain't gonna hold you. That's how I do that test.
It's
That's why I'm like,
collarbone.
nah, sis, you gotta hit a treadmill.
You gotta look at your collarbone and the chin.
If my collarbone ain't poking, I know
My
it's...
collarbone tell me I need another burger.
Exactly. I'm saying,
Extra chicken over there? Extra chicken?
when the fat start pocketing around this area, I'll be like, nah, I need to go on a diet.
It's all in the collarbone.
That's
it, collarbone.
I get it. But yeah, moral of the story is communicate and suck a dick.
SAD.
Really?
SAD 2020.
Yeah, ain't no man gonna say no to that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Here's my situation. I recently became single in January. This alumni from my college DM'd me so persistently that a few weeks after I was single, I allowed him to accompany my best friend, a boy, and cousin, a boy, to Taco Tuesday. He took the initiative to drive us, and once we returned, he dropped my boys off and got us milkshakes and took me to the movies.
Oh my God.
Awesome, right?
Wow.
But why you gotta keep saying boy?
Then yes. Then he continues
how old are you,
to show
15?
Yeah. He continues to show me. No, she's at college, so she's old enough. He continues to show me, right? Like just got here.
Because you gotta be known alumni.
Yes, alumni.
So he old, like okay.
You about 35.
Yeah.
He continues to show interest even with a broken phone. That's key. He arranges for us to go see dolphins and pet them during a free day in my home. Can I get through it?
She's young.
Sorry. She's still in college because he arranges for us to go see dolphins and pet them during a free day in my spring break. And we spent a beach day, each with our separate friend groups. Other than that, I was constantly invited over to his house for a while. No sexual anything was even initiated. We both had felt chemistry and we are very comfortable with each other. So when we finally did, sparks were everywhere. Now the biggest issue is timing. We were developing something amazing. Now we are both doing our best to have tunnel vision in hopes we'll reconnect. But then COVID-19 happened. I'm from Atlanta. He lives in Florida. My parents are extremely concerned about COVID. Obviously, Florida's a hotbed. And take no risk, which is absolutely necessary. But without putting a label on what we are, I feel like we have no defined anything beyond our mutual feelings. but this is a constant state of not knowing kills me. She's very young. We talk about it, but we both agree the timing to put a label on, to put a label is in a way dumb. We are headed in a positive direction, but it's becoming more and more difficult to not want to talk to him all day. So when I don't hear from him for 12 plus hours, which is also an issue, and so on, I sometimes don't want to answer, so he sees how it feels. She's young.
You like 16 and a half, bro. Like,
maybe I just feel so alone that I miss his presence, but it's week 6 for me, and it's just hard. I have days where I want to say, F it, that's not worth the trouble, because if he decides it's not, when it's over. So
he
here
smashed and said, I'm out.
No, that's not what happened. COVID hit, so they can't go back to school.
Oh,
right. So that's the thing. That's the thing. COVID hit, they can't go back to school. This is how I'm interpreting it. COVID hit, they were starting something, they were doing something while they were in school. COVID hit, they had to stop going to school. He lives in Florida full time. She lives in Atlanta full time. You should have known that was an issue when you started fucking him. Because he didn't live in Atlanta. He just went to school in Atlanta.
Good talk.
Exactly. He just went to school in Atlanta. So you knew the long distance situation was going to come up eventually. So what the fuck were you going to do when y'all go away for summer vacation, winter break? What the hell you thought was going to happen? Like, I don't understand.
He caught up with the dolphin.
Exactly, he caught.
I'm just lost with that. I'm sorry to cut y'all off.
Let's go pet some dolphins.
Let me think. We're gonna go pet some dolphins. We're gonna pet some dolphins. I'm gonna take you and your boys to go get milkshakes.
Oh, I thought it was ice cream.
Or ice cream or whatever. It already sounds fishy as fuck.
It sounds predatory.
This sounds dirty.
Yeah.
He about 35, she's 16.
This sounds dirty.
She's young-minded.
Yeah.
Even
16
if
and a
she's
half,
over
35.
18, even if she's over 18, her mental is young.
And he's dirty for even. No, this already sounds.
Yeah.
bad.
She can't be 16 in our group. So she ain't 16.
Nah,
People
16
lie
and a
about their
half.
ages.
She's
right?
smart. She
That's
graduated
wild.
early.
She's smart.
She graduated.
It might be one of those smart chicks, but who don't like never been with a dude.
She looks smart, but she not. She not.
If you don't talk to somebody for 12 hours
and all that, yeah, no.
If you're an adult and you don't speak to somebody for 12 hours, you know somebody handling their business.
But
I don't have to talk to my shorty every day to know that she good and know that I'm good.
But ain't Florida and Georgia not too far from each
Exactly.
other?
Yeah, her parents aren't letting her go.
Which means you're young.
Well, it depends
If
on
your
where
parents
it's
is telling
from.
you can't go.
Yeah, she said her parents are very, very strict on her not going anywhere because of COVID.
She just had a sweet 16. Of course she's not going. She's not
there you go.
drive to
She gotta
Florida.
use their car.
We just had.
No, but it depends on where you are. If you're in like Jacksonville, Florida, and you're in Savannah, Georgia, okay, you're close. But if you're in Atlanta and you're in Miami, you're not close. So it depends. Nah, it's more than that. It's more than that. Yeah, exactly. Depends on what type of and if her parents, if she could be over 18, but if her parents are paying all her bills, paying all her expenses, she's in college, so she don't got no big job. So it could be different reasons why she's like, okay, I'm kind of trapped because my parents.
So her parents are strict, but his parents aren't. So what's
He's
that?
an alumni.
This dude's a grown ass man.
Told you she fucking the dean. He got a wife.
He
He got a wife and kids. She young. I'ma take her to see fucking dolphins.
This whole entire situation says,
And
cut it
Rat
the
got her
fuck
wrapped.
off.
That's
The
it.
Dolphins got her wrapped.
It's
And
been
the
6
milkshakes.
weeks.
And the milkshakes.
The
What the
dolphins.
fuck goes for a date to go pet dolphins? Like,
Niggas from Florida.
no.
They got their dolphins.
They got dolphins.
Yeah.
I'm trying to impress you, but you could bring your boys with you on the date, and then I could treat all of y'all. No, some
No, he didn't say he treated. She didn't say he treated.
Yeah, he said he
all
took
of
her to
them.
the ice
He
cream.
said they all went to. No, he didn't take all of them. He dropped them off, and then they went for milkshakes. He took her.
You gotta go back.
What?
I think it said.
I'm a paraphraser because this shit is long as fuck. It was too songs.
I'ma look at it.
Now, yes, look at it.
Because-
But no, so what
I feel like he
occurred
bought the
was
milkshakes.
he didn't buy the milkshakes. He said he dropped my boys off, and then we went for milkshakes in a movie.
Your boys are some
That's
bitches
what
for even getting in the car
What's that,
knowing
her
you're
brother?
a
Brother
date.
and cousin.
Oh,
my brother. And
Nah, man, your brother and your cousin ain't
They
got-
went to Taco Tuesday together.
Yeah, Taco Tuesday.
Yes,
was
they went to
yeah,
Taco
all the way. Nah, hell no.
Wow.
Yeah, your brother or your cousin or your boys, hell no. Nah.
Yep,
They should have known from
Yeah,
get go.
they're
If you're
young.
going on a date, why am I getting in the car with
Yeah,
y'all like
they're
that?
all-
The niggas was like, oh, Taco.
Yeah. No, they're all young. So who's
Her
this
brother
man?
younger than her.
They got
Her
you.
brother younger than her, and
Yeah.
her cousin is
Same age, probably as
Yeah,
the brother.
same
And
age.
Yeah.
he took them out, and she probably
No,
said,
that means you
"Oh,
gotta
this
still
is my
tag
friend."
along your
Because they couldn't go to a bar, they went to Taco Tuesday.
Yeah,
Kinda
so
wanna talk on that.
yeah, you see how we pinpointing all of this?
Yes, yes.
Look, girl.
Bad.
Yeah, right? This is like,
This
what's
is
How you
going
start
on?
16.
Yes.
35. Leave it.
That's crazy.
That's what that's
Petting
exactly
dolphins,
what that is,
eating
you know?
ice cream,
Yeah, this-
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
Not even
But hold
Taco
on, my
Tuesday.
thought process is, was he going 12 plus hours before y'all fucked? Not communicating? Or was this something that occurred after y'all fucked? Because if it just occurred after y'all fucked,
Then you know already what
Let it go.
Basura.
Let it go. Y'all box was trash, or he just wanted to be.
He
it
knew
is
what he
it
had to
is.
do.
Jerry said he
You
went.
put it in, you immediately
he went
start
on a
bleeding.
date
Like,
with
huh?
some chicks with dolphins, and the sister was hitting on him while he was petting the dolphins. What the hell? Cancun.
Yes.
They didn't go to Cancun.
They didn't go to
This is
Cancun.
an alumni.
They went to Florida.
Right.
We're in Florida,
They
man.
went up the block.
They literally up the block, like, oh, that's regular.
They went up the block.
Nah, then nah.
Listen, sis.
It was dolphins and alligators. I mean,
But that too. Technically, there's not many options. Not much
Said that nigga
options.
the op.
Not much options at this point. Sis, you need to get out of your own head, just like old shorty from before. And you kind of need to smarten up and realize what an adult entanglement is, because that's what you're in right now. That's not your man, not his girl. The biker's fucking up this whole thing
Summertime
right
in a
now.
flood.
Yes, summertime in East Flatbush. But anyway, he doesn't have to contact you all day, every day. You are making that an expectation of a nigga that is not your man.
That's the main thing.
Titles have nothing to do with nothing. If somebody wants to communicate with you, they will find a way. Just like he had a broken phone and he was still communicating with you. Yeah, he
When
had
he
this problem
wanted to.
before. Exactly. So you have to understand that people get busy, especially during these times of uncertainty. Things are going on. Maybe he's doing Uber Eats now because he needs supplementary income. Who
Probably
knows?
with another freshman.
That too.
In Georgia.
That
We got a black Epstein now.
exactly. So
God.
you can't.
I'm talking about the UF.
Can't make any
Like, yo, what
Like they around, they just not known.
Exactly. So you can't make any type of assumptions. If you're telling him, hey, this is something that bothers me and this is what I need in order to have a situation, then have the conversation with him. If it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. If it don't, it don't. You young. You should be out there flinging coochie in Atlanta at this point.
Whoa.
wrap it up. Wrap it up, though.
I never said that.
Atlanta's dirty.
Don't just fling
There's
coochie.
a lot of rumors with Atlanta, so
There's a lot of things that don't go away.
make sure you wrap
Yes,
it up.
yes. There's a lot of things that you're going to have to take a pill for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
Be safe.
so wrap it up.
Be safe. Be safe with it. But come on, if he's not showing you the consistency that you want, make a fucking decision.
Move the fuck on.
That's it. Make a decision.
It's a lot of niggas out there.
Yep.
They might want to try bitches. Do something. Just leave that one alone.
Jerry, yup, he used Spanish fly and she got hooked. That's what happened. He gave her the Spanish fly dick and then it was just over.
Nah, it was the tacos,
Tacos and
the
milkshake don't
dolphins,
mix.
and the milkshakes.
Oh man, yep. Fuck them up.
Maybe he got the bubbly guts and he ain't really appreciate what happened. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Or you 16 and you got trash coochie. That's all.
Already?
Nah, they don't know how. She just maybe don't know how to use it yet.
You 16 and a half, you just sitting there going
When you
like
young,
this.
you gotta learn. You need a couple spins
You don't
around the
like-
block.
Right.
I would never fuck a virgin.
Not with the D.
Not with
Now
the
He about 35. He
That's
wants some
dealing with
experience
another
coochie.
freshman.
Some non-dolphin.
And my advice, I need to know your age, ma'am.
You should have put that out.
And and I think you need to leave the alumni man alone because alumni, whatever.
Alumni.
And yeah, you just stop counting the calendar and stop counting the hours because
School ain't starting back.
No time soon.
No time soon.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like this at least until January. And we about to have a second round of COVID. So either get used to this long distance business or let that man go.
Find somebody else.
Emphasis on the man.
Yep.
yeah, the man, not the boy.
Marry the boy.
Yeah.
Because she said, yeah.
Try out
yeah.
females.
That sounds like an uncle taking his niece and
How the hell is that the
dirty, yo.
only thing that you That's the first fucking thing you jump to.
Hey,
Try females.
Try out some coochie. You know what I'm saying?
I said that too.
Maybe you like it better.
But she don't want pussy. She
But
want
I'm just
dick.
saying.
She don't know what she wants.
She don't know.
Exactly.
She don't know what she
She's
wants.
16.
She just had a 316. She don't know if she like dick or coochie. She don't know what she
Exactly. She
Alright.
fucking petted the dolphin. That's
Scissor
what you
something real
love.
quick.
Shorty said I was counting
Scissor
down.
something real quick. Maybe
Yeah,
like, you know.
12 hours.
12 plus hours.
Okay, Ellie Mae.
That's your name, right?
Ellie Mae. I think it's L.
I don't know. I just know she be saying extra shit at the end of her songs that's unnecessary.
She gotta let people know she British at the end of all her fucking songs.
She said she gotta take L, rap it with R-E-S-N-O-Z. And then you get it mixed up and you get the love. What the fuck are you talking about? Donnie was real though.
She say whatever bullshit she wants to like
Yes, yeah, you gave your advice. What is your...
Try some coochie, honestly. Like, I've heard from females that they enjoyed the coochie. Maybe try it one time, maybe if you like it, go back to the penis if you like the penis. You know.
She is broken. That poor little 16-year-old girl is broken, Jerry. Poor thing. He done hit her. He hit her with everything he had. He gave her grade A dick.
Yeah, he gave her
exactly. He gave her grade A dick, and that's your first mistake. You give her C, maybe B grade, if you don't want anything.
Can we just say that's a myth?
That's what. That is different levels to dick game? Hell yeah,
man, you gotta give A all the time. I don't know.
You have to give A all the time.
You gotta know who you give an A to. Because some bitches are crazy.
I gotta give A all the time because you know you're gonna be in a group chat talking about, yo, this man just giving me
You can't give B. Oh, that's the illusion. Fellas, don't listen. No, you don't give B.
I'm not gonna comment to this. Then I'm gonna comment on that.
No, you gotta give A.
You gotta give A every time.
You're fucking Jordan picking.
You know what happens when
No.
The problem, you get stalked.
Jordan's like Cleveland.
You in the group chat if you don't give A.
You can't. You know. You gotta give A. Don't give no
B minus dick, bro. Like, what do I do?
No, but hold on. Yeah, B may be her A though.
That
so
I don't.
You can't.
That my A gonna be A++. I ain't giving you no.
I'm
gonna show out about that.
Everybody don't deserve a dick.
No.
So why are you clapping them?
So y'all hold back.
Because I felt like it.
Exactly. For a nut.
Sometimes I need a nut, but that don't mean you deserve the best. I'm gonna just do what I got for me. And I'm out.
You clapping hoes. You don't want to clap.
No, yeah, you can't. No, there is no clapping.
Nah, sometimes
for your shit, bro.
I just like to fuck. So if I
clap a wall, bro. I'd rather clap a wall than clap somebody. I don't want to clap. Cause I have to give that.
Yeah, all the fellas out there, please give A. Don't.
You will be in a group chat immediately. You'll be a sub on Instagram.
Okay, and we're back. We don't have much about sports because sports are now starting to kind of get back into gear. But I do. Oh, here you go. Oh God, here you go. We do respect the leagues that are actually taking the proper precautions. Like the NBA, I feel like they're doing an amazing job. I feel like the NHL on their restart have great ideas. Baseball, fucking morons.
Whoa.
Roger Goodell.
No, not
Roger Goodell. Not Roger Goodell.
Rob Manfred.
No, I got Rob Manfred, but I got a problem with Goodell. So that's why his name was in my head. Fucking Roger Goodell has no plan on how a high contact fucking sport is going to restart, and you have no testing plan, you have no bubble plan. You think football is just going to restart? No cases, no issue. We can carry on as we will. Football is literally not going to make it past preseason. They don't even have any preseason games scheduled. They're not going to make it past training camps. It's going to be 13 players tested on this squad, 14 players COVID positive on this squad. They're not going to have an NFL season as is. It's not gonna happen.
I don't watch football.
I watch all sports. I think soccer has a great format as well for their kind of COVID
But soccer already had a plan in place from how they do the Olympics. They had the walk-in with it because that's how they do the Olympics. So it's not a problem for them to have everybody play on the same field.
Exactly.
Because that's how they do the Olympics. But
I'm telling you, baseball is not going to finish the season.
Well,
NFL's not going to start.
I just got an alert. Baseball, they told all the channels that cover them prepare for alternate programming next week. Yeah. My problem is with sports, in everything in general. COVID, I'm not going to get into a rant with COVID, but football players, that's probably next to basketball the dirtiest sport on earth.
Yes, it is.
It's more dirty.
Yeah,
if people weren't sick before, I don't see the problem in why you can't play the sport now. If people were playing with the flu, if people are playing with colds, if people are spitting on the ball and you're grabbing the ball, or in basketball you're sweating on top of each other,
every quarterback does this.
I don't see the
Before
point
they
now.
fucking
I don't see the point now
Every
why
quarterback.
everybody's making it seem like sports need to be
Every
sanitized.
quarterback.
It doesn't. It's sports. You sweat. It's like these motherfuckers finish a game, 10 of them go into a shower. That's disgusting on its own.
But you
with
literally have to put your body on top of another body in football.
But if
you
we-
tackle every
But
down,
you was doing that
tackle
before.
every down.
You was
You're
doing that
literally
before, so
on
what's
top
the
of
issue?
every
But
down.
like that's to say that like just because we lived dirty before, we should continue to live dirty.
But no, my
No,
point is with
it's not
sports.
that,
My point is with sports is like
Sports was disgusting.
it's disgusting regardless. Like, so why now are we making it seem now like, oh, you can't play sports no because someone's sick? Like, cut this shit
No,
out.
it's different.
You
COVID
shouldn't
is
keep it
different.
disgusting though.
COVID is different. It's not the common cold.
It's a
damn sure
virus.
It's the
common
flu
cold.
on
It's
steroids.
a virus.
Smoke you though.
Exactly.
It's
It
a-
got healthy people dying from this shit.
It's
People
a-
with no pre-existing medical conditions dying.
It's a-
Kids who fresh born dying.
It's a 99% survival
You
rate.
can kill that man.
It's a 99% survival rate.
No,
I'm
you're
always
making
gonna say
an
that.
assumption.
No.
You're making an assumption.
Well, I'm gonna go off of the stats that the doctors give us.
I understand that, but what happens with viruses? They mutate, they evolve, which is why we don't have any type of antidote, which is why we have no type of vaccine for it.
We don't have a vaccine on most of the shit.
Continuous.
The flu don't work every year. They give you a new vaccine.
That's the whole. Because you know why?
They give you the flu.
Because the flu is mutating every
Knock on
year.
wood, I
There's
never had the
different
flu. I
strains.
never got a flu shot.
I never had a flu.
I never had flu shot either.
I never had
I don't fuck with none of the.
Yeah, I never had a flu.
Because they literally giving you the disease.
Yeah, they
Right, so your body can build
threaten to kill you.
antibodies.
My point
I
with
completely
sports is the way
understand
they go in the body now is not, they're fear mongering now. Because everything with sports now is, oh, we're gonna have to be careful because we can't contract this. It's like you put on ESPN. That's all they're talking about. Oh, baseball, 3 more contracted the virus. Like, all right, just shut the fuck up already. Like the players knew already going into it, I might
That's
get
why
the
they had
virus,
the option to opt up.
and they're still playing. So why the hell are we gonna carry on? Like,
Because we can't ignore it like it doesn't exist.
I get that we can't ignore it doesn't, but these are grown people who made the decision. I want to play. So why now are we making a big deal? Oh my God, they're playing. They chose to go play. That's their decision to go play.
There's some
That's the guy
people
fucked
decided
up.
they didn't
Time
want to
slot.
play.
Yeah, there's
Exactly. They gotta have some sort of content.
I say the person that knows like that does media and knows that the aspect of it, they just film the time slots.
That's all that is. Because they were filming all kind, and they were rerunning all kind of old shit. But
Bro,
my,
you know how much times I watched the 2008 fucking.
oh, Kobe versus the Celtics. Oh my Christ!
God, you know how much times I watched that shit?
I said, yo, y'all are milking the Celtics title run right now.
I ain't watching NBA TV.
I was
They gotta talk about something. Yeah.
What I like about the NFL Network and MLB Network, they do not fearmonger all day long. They report it. 3 Marlins tested positive. And then they tell you what happened last night during the games. You put on ESPN every fucking hour. Oh, 3 players tested positive. What are we gonna do? NBA
ESPN is
TV.
more of a news network.
No,
than-
ESPN is a news network.
Right,
They
that's what I'm saying.
completely-
They're a news network.
They do nothing with
so
sports.
NFL TV is centered around sports. NBA TV is centered around sports. ESPN is everything. It's news.
No, they're just NFL and basketball.
It's
ESPN don't cover nobody. If it's not big, they sprinkle a little baseball.
sprinkle a little-
They gotta show you the home run though.
ESPN is mainly
Not their
NFL and
announcers,
NBA.
their announcers say it plain as day. I really don't know much about baseball. I really don't like. You listen to
Check out
CJ
this
Smith.
dope hockey
I
shot.
don't really know about.
Stephen
I don't really know about basketball. I don't really know about.
I don't watch First Take no more. Fuck the two of them. Max Kellerman and Stephen A.
I watch
Smith.
Dan Levin. You know how I give it up. I watch Dan Levin
Dan
over
Levitard
watching.
became, Dan Levitard
First
became
Take
too commercialized for me too.
No,
He's
it's not
gotta
even
be a
that.
little-
They blocked him from saying a lot.
Yeah,
They
but
blocked- you could tell he wants to say more than he actually.
well, that's his fault. He took the money. You should have went on satellite
he's the
radio where you
highest
were.
paid. He's the highest paid.
He should have took the Joe
analyst
Rogan route.
there
Joe
at
Rogan said,
ESPN
I'm
Radio.
doing my own shit on my own platform so I can say whatever the fuck I want. But Dan Levitard took the money. Which brings me into my rant about the NBA. Please, every single one of y'all, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I don't care about your shirts. I don't care about you kneeling. Because when push came to
It's a
shove,
symbol.
Equality.
when
It's a
push
symbol.
came to shove
No,
in
it's a symbol.
October, all of y'all kept quiet about what was going on in China because it was gonna fuck y'all money up. The reason why they're so vocal now is because there's no consequence to their paychecks. So this is disingenuous.
But can we hold on? But can we actually applaud the fact that it's okay now to have a cause? it's okay now for the same shit that they blackballed Cap for saying. It's now the norm.
He might get signed too.
Cap just signed a deal with Disney, which makes me now look at Cap funny.
This is
Disney. People need money, bro.
No, you can't.
You have to address the awareness that has come from George Floyd. You have to address it.
Hey man.
But
whether you agree with how they're doing it, whether you agree with how they're doing it or not, but it's now cool and acceptable to say the same shit that man has been saying.
You just used the key word. It's cool. It's not genuine no more.
I'm not. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm not saying you said it, but you just used the key word.
Right.
It's cool now.
It's popular.
That's why people are doing
It's popular.
It's cool now.
But
none of them, half of the NBA do not give a fuck what's going on. They have a gated community with armed security guards that they don't worry about.
But at least the message.
Half of them, yeah. The message,
the highest paid players. Not all of them are the highest.
The message for me. I can't take it from them because when the shit in China went down, right? Remember when the dude from Houston, what's his name, Daryl Morey, when he got in trouble for saying free Hong Kong, and LeBron came out, he should have shut up because he spoke out of his mouth. You can't talk about what's going on over there and say the man was ignorant for talking about what's going on here. You still have the freedom to talk about it. You go to China and you kneel for the national anthem, you're dead.
But there's some people you can speak on and some people you can't speak on. Like China supports the NBA OD.
But that's my point.
Yes.
Jewish people, they support a lot of media companies. That's why like Nick Cannon got his show canceled. There's certain people you can't speak on.
But that's my point. They're doing it here because
he can't get Wild Out back though.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's not affecting their money.
They not giving him Wild Out back. That's the thing.
But you can't. Nobody's gonna watch Wild 'N Out without Nick Cannon.
Yeah, but Nick Cannon.
So that show is dead.
Nick Cannon.
If they're not gonna give it to him, that show is
He lost the fight.
They still gonna try.
He lost the fight once.
Majority of the companies that are with whoever owns, he can't go on the company. Yeah.
No, he can literally he can go to Disney
create his own,
and create his own network.
Wild 'N Out is his thing though.
Yeah, right.
Like Wild 'N Out is the thing that
he can create a derivative of it and
but
be
it's not
successful.
Gonna be Wild 'N Out. It's not gonna be Wild 'N Out.
I mean,
he can't call it Wild 'N Out. He can't do. Yeah. I'm sure it can't be like something like uber similar.
He still has the Masked Singer, which is doing numbers.
Yeah, but the Masked
Singer.
He had to kick so much ass to get it back. That's why I have a problem with Cap.
I was super informed now, and I understand.
To bring it
back to ground for a minute.
But the Cap story was always incomplete. That's why Cap was.
He wasn't an activist though. He said he wasn't an activist.
Right. He
Cap could have got signed. That's what people forget.
He wasn't taking less money. That's
because Cap thought he was Tom Brady. That we need to put the story in context.
But he is,
people made him seem like that though. When he went to the Super Bowl. It was making him
exactly right. Cap
he is a quarterback that took the Niners to the Super Bowl. Didn't win.
They were sucking him crazy when he did.
Trent Dilfer took the Ravens to the Super Bowl and he don't even got a job. Like,
but this is what I'm saying. I feel like they tried to. Exactly.
I don't know. That sounds like more of a quarterback name than Colin Kaepernick.
Could have sounded white.
Yeah, Trent Dilfer is like, oh, that's a quarterback. Colin Kaepernick sounds like a punter.
What their issue was, and this is why I agreed with it. There's quarterbacks not half as talented as him.
But we know that
have jobs. Matt Ryan still got a motherfucking job.
Hey, Matt Ryan is a lot better than Colin Kaepernick.
He can't run like him.
He can't run like him, but he can throw the ball. Game is quarterback.
Matt can't throw like that.
You gonna say Matt Ryan
can't run like
that over fucking Cat?
I didn't say leaps and bounds better, but if you telling me a quarterback, then I'm taking I'd rather
Colin Kaepernick than Matt Ryan.
I'm not taking it.
Colin Kaepernick had a 3-year window. Like, let's be honest, a 3-year window.
But then he started training to try to get NBA jobs or NFL jobs, and I feel like he's better than that.
I feel like he's better than he was.
He should be in the league. I'm not saying Colin Kaepernick shouldn't be in the league. My problem is the act. Like, we anointed him. Like, we anointed Cap.
So they never stopped. They never stopped.
That was my problem with Cap. Like,
I'm so glad this unemployment money ran out. I'm so fucking glad. So they can stop with this shit.
People said Cap is our age Muhammad Ali. That's disrespectful to Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali never took the money.
No, I respected what he stood for because he did not back down for all those years.
The first season, he did.
Even when people were throwing dirt on his name, he couldn't get a job. He couldn't even get a fucking look. They couldn't even look at Cap. I respected it. He kept it going, kept the mission going, kept the mission going. He's poured more money into black communities than Black Lives Matter.
Look, that's another.
So we gotta give this man man his credit.
I said Kaepernick gets my respect, but it's now cool.
Yeah.
It don't mean nothing no more. It's cool now.
Yeah.
Like, look at yesterday. What did every network make sure they tune into? Is the NBA gonna kneel?
Yeah.
That now it means nothing anymore.
They knew they were gonna kneel.
Yeah, but it means nothing anymore.
But that's the part that pisses me off. You crucified this man for years, and now it's like, oh, we have to kneel. We have to do it. We have.
Because it's cool. Because it's cool. Because if you don't kneel, you end up like the dude Isaac on the Orlando Magic. Now they calling him a bum.
Now you the outcast.
Because he said, I'm not kneeling. Like, I'm an immigrant, I'm not kneeling. I know how hard it was to get here.
He honestly, he's entitled. He's entitled to say, I don't want to kneel. Just like Cap was entitled to say,
I'm gonna kneel.
He's entitled to say, I don't like condone crucifying him for not kneeling. That's your preference.
I don't like the NBA kneeling right now because you wasn't doing it when he first did it.
I agree.
You're only doing it now because you know you're gonna get the clicks on Instagram and on Twitter, and people are gonna be, oh, look how woke he is.
But everybody know that they can't survive not getting that money though. Like, you also have to put that in. Like, if people know that if they kneeled, they was not getting a paycheck. Like, they were getting paid.
But that's why
everybody's LeBron, so they can't get their money.
The NFL was not tolerant.
But I respect the NFL players who said it. This is my paycheck. I don't need to kneel to make a stance. If I know I'm gonna piss my boss off where my money's coming from, I ain't kneeling. The NBA now is like, oh, okay, you know what? We gonna look cool doing it. We might get an endorsement from somebody, so let's just fucking kneel.
Here's what I don't respect.
Referees are
not
kneeling.
gonna kneel,
somebody know that they'll lose their money and they're not choosing.
Right. If you're not gonna kneel, then how else are you gonna help your community? How else are you gonna help black people? NBA is 85% black.
Yeah, but there's no.
Right? You're saying I'm not gonna kneel. I respect it, but how else are you gonna?
Yeah, but some of the dudes that are kneeling, we got no proof that they helping anybody.